how to help students to solve persistent technical issues. What does that mean, persistent? It's like a habit. They don't even know it. It's like a second nature. If we begin to do something for a long period of time without correction, and soon after that, a mistake becomes a habit. Let's say coming down from a jump, the heel bounce off. This movement itself. When something becomes habit, it takes equally long period of time or longer to correct that problem, because in ballet, not only you needed to get rid of that problem, you needed to establish a new pattern, a new way of doing things. So if something starts establishing, at that time, we needed to really spend the time, make sure that does not happen. Second, learn to do it correctly. If tendu back, let's say, so easy, I see so many, even professional dancers, sometimes I teach company classes, professional dancers doing tendu with a heel back. Just like this. This situation itself, they know if I take a videotape, say to them, do you think this is right? Of course they say it's wrong, right? Nobody says it's right. But they're doing so without themselves knowing it. It tells me two things. One, it was introduced wrong. Second, when it becomes an issue, it did not get correct immediately with persistence and with demand. So there's two aspects to this. One is not to do certain things because it's wrong. Second, learn to do it correctly. What's the best thing to do? Is not let those things to start with in the first place. Teach something correctly, teach something so slowly, teach something systematically to the students. You introduce this step, do the best you could. Don't allow any chance, any opportunity for the problem to surface. Don't let the issues have a room to frustrate. If a bad thing, let's say demi-plié heels up, could be very problematic later on. If you let this happen, you look at it, you're just hoping it will go away by itself. I want to tell you, it won't. You have to make sure you give that correction right away. I want to introduce you a new way of so-called giving corrections. So you already pointed out to the student, this is wrong and this is right. Because they needed to know what they did was wrong. And when they do something well, you need to recognize that as well. So they know clearly what shouldn't happen, what should happen. Because when they do something it shouldn't happen, you point it out, great. But if they do something correctly, if you don't point it out, they're doing something correct and well, they're confused. They don't know what's wrong, what's right. So we establish that. The next stage of so-called giving corrections, I like to introduce you my own method, truly, is don't say, don't do such and such. Instead of saying that, say, do such and such. So don't wait for a mistake to happen, you say, don't do it. It's too late already, they already did it. Instead of saying that, be a little bit more, proactive. Before that happened, I'm talking about 2 seconds, 3 seconds before, to be a good teacher, which is give the reminder. To me, that teacher is a much more effective. This is what I call helping students to overcome something persistent. Don't let them do it, then say don't do it. Pay attention to it before they do it. Remind them so this doesn't even happen. Because every time they lift your heel up when they do grand plié, every time they lift the heel up when they do demi plié, you know what it is. It's the developing a muscle memory. Our job is say something ahead of time. Don't let them even entertain that idea. So to be a reminder, not to be a corrector. Understand? So I'm talking about proactive. 5 seconds before something is about to happen, and you tell them, put your heel down firmly. Pay attention to your heels so they don't even do this. That's a reminder. To me, that's much more effective, especially with persistent issues. For example, some students, when they turn, one shoulder goes up. If they did already, then you say that correction is for the next time because they already did it. So in preparation, you said, put your shoulders down. Watch the plié before they do it. This is something I discovered, so-called effective teachers. Always a good reminder. They always remind us. That's why teachers never stop talking. And I love those teachers. The constant voice is there. It's very soothing for me. Somebody's watching me. Somebody's taking care of everything that I do. And I appreciate that a lot as a dancer, as a student. Second portion of it is actually create specific exercises to help them to correct the persistent issues. For example, plié. If somebody always lift their heel up before they jump, we have to create exercises. Specifically, let's say heels down, little plié like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch. 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. nothing else. So for them not to worry about anything else, but concentrate one task on that issue. So not a correction, not a reminder, but the actual exercises help them to overcome the issues. Port de bras, if the arms always go forward, shoulder always dropping, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a couple exercises for a long period of time. Just the port de bras. Incorporate that into the exercises. Don't do anything plié. Just the arms. Give them an opportunity to fix issues. Provide environment, provide opportunity for them to have only one task, is addressing that issue without any other things. To me, that's very helpful. Students, if they don't have a strong jump, you can say jump higher, bigger jumps. You can say 100 times a day. They're not gonna jump higher, they're not gonna jump bigger just because you say it. No, we have to create exercise specifically designed for the jumps. From the bar, in the center, and the jumps itself. What is the problem? Is the toes not pointed? Lack of plié? Flexibility? Is it what? Is the coordination of the arms not right? Specific issues require specific exercise. And sometimes we do need to take them apart. See where the problem is and take it apart and polish each issues. Then we put them back together. Then you see results. Every issue, there's a way, in my opinion. There's a way to solve that problem. So as an educator, we have to recognize what the issue is to start with. What are the issues? Recognize that, number one. Number two, provide a solution. Find a way to help the students. Give the instructions. Either give the reminder or specific exercises to help them solve the issue. Number three, provide ability for them to self-detect, self-correct, because you're not going to be there with them forever. The knowledge itself is going to help them for years to come. Just remember, every issue, there's a way to help them. There's a solution to every problem. It's up to us to find it and to provide a way for them to overcome those issues. If students that you think there is multiple things that you like to improve from this student, my recommendation to you is that although in one class you see 10 issues right away, it's very clear in your eyes, I want to tell you it's impossible to fix 10 at the same time. They're not going to absorb that kind of correction. They're not going to absorb this kind of criticism. It's only get them more confused. So what do we have to do? Prioritize. We have to prioritize what issue needs to be solving first. To me, always the placement, the hip placement is number one issue. Placement of our body. If there's something wrong with the placement, if they tilt back, arch the lower back, or let's say their abdominal, their core is not strong, something wrong with the spine or shoulder, we have to find a way to fix that first because that's priority to me. Once that's solved, it will put their head in a better place, the arm in a better place, the rotation, it will better chance to have a rotation. Other words, if there's an alignment issue, oftentimes there's other issues. There's turned out issue, there's arm issue, the head position, épaulement issues, if there's something wrong with alignment. So always find the most problematic problem to solve. Just take the time. If there's improvement there, then you see the improvement in other sections of that student. It's not helpful to you or the students if we list every single problem every day. They're only going to be frustrating them and you don't see results. So find the things that it's important in your education, in your knowledge. Recognize what is the most important issue and then go from there. You will find a much better result if this is the process for you. Because the student's performance is direct reflection of their teacher, direct. Sometimes I see students coming in, I can see right away, this student is taught by certain teachers. Really great, let's say, at turning, really great at jump. You know, teacher is going to teach students of what they know. They cannot teach the students what they don't know, right? So that have everything to do with their own knowledge, their own educational background, their own artistic experience, and their own personality. Everything. Become an educator, effective educator.